Oh boy. Oh, good morning. It's early still. I need to go to the chiropractor this morning. My back is tight. Okay. I wanted to do something a little different today because I've been playing around a lot with shapes. It's such a crazy thing. Like when you're kids and you're drawing, and you're just making marks, like you're not really even thinking about the structure or the color or whatever. You're just putting marks down on the paper. Like kids kind of do this thing naturally. And we forget as adults. And what that is, like what I'm talking about. Sorry, my brain is still kind of waking up, and it's difficult to talk and draw at the same time, but we're gonna do it. So what I'm talking about is breaking things down into basic shapes. And I thought, instead of, you can do this with anything, like any subject, you can break it down into just basic shapes. But it's easy to do with, oh, I've got duplicates here. It's easy to do with buildings. And so I've got like a little collection of like vehicles and buildings, and I thought this could be kind of fun. I mean, look at this little guy. Yeah, that's a cool one. Maybe I'll do that one. Or some of these, I really like some of these like castles on an island. I think that's a painting, or part of this was definitely painted out, or photo bashed maybe. Yeah, or maybe this guy, that could be a fun one to work on. Yeah, let's just do this one. Let's just do that. So really, I'm not going to worry about the background for now. What I'm going to do is just grab, man, sometimes I start like this. So in Procreate, you've got this selection tool, right? And you can draw out your selection and go to your layer and fill and make shapes, big shapes, pretty quickly. And sometimes the way that I start a project or a drawing like this is I'll just block out the shape. And you can, instead of like tapping and drawing on the screen with your selection tool, you can tap different points to get like block out that shape. So here's what I'll do. And this guy is kind of at an angle. I'm not going to worry about getting everything photo accurate. We're just going to have fun today. Okay, go down. And there's like a little curve here. There. Oh, that piece is not there, actually. And then we'll come up. And some of these little details we will put in afterwards. We're just getting the big, basic shape here. Okay. And the way that I'm going to fill this, so the main color on this one is kind of like, it looks kind of like a rusted red. I'm just going to make it like a red orange. And mine is a little more squatty. I used to be afraid of doing this, just really distorting all the pixels, but it's just a sketch. Who cares? They're just pixels on a screen. If you don't like it, you can paint over it. Pixels are free. Pixels are free. Okay, so here's what I'm doing with this one. I'll show you what I'm doing and kind of slow down. So once I have like a basic block shape that I'm working with, there's a cool thing you can do. Add a layer on top. So I will name these to kind of help. This is the base shape here. And this one, we will call this like color. And if you tap on the layer and go down to clipping mask and tap it, you'll see like this little arrow that has appeared up here on this layer that indicates it's connected to the layer below it. So here are some cool things that you can do because of that. I'm gonna work with some brushes that I don't typically work with, and let's just see. Ooh, this is kind of fun. Let's just see what happens. So I can scribble all over using this layer that I've activated a clipping mask, and it will keep everything inside of that layer, right? So I don't have to be like super careful along the edges to stay inside of this shape. I can scribble all over and it will stay inside that, like it's clipped to that mask. It's a clipping mask. Ta-da! All right. And we're just gonna add some basic shadows here. And this is a loose sketch. We're not gonna go forever here. There's all kinds. Actually, before I block in those shadows, it's kind of too late. I should put more. I'm just gonna lay a whole bunch of color on here. And that bottom part is pretty gray. Yeah, it looks a little, there's a little bit of green in there, maybe. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. And I'm just blocking in the basic shape, the basic color, I mean. And we'll add some small texture later on. And then we're obviously not going for photo realistic here. This is just fun. The more fun you can have with it, I think it really shows up in your work. The more that you kind of stress out, like everything has to be perfect, which I used to. I really used to be like that. Everything has got to be just right. Got to get this line just right. Well, first, like, that's not real. You're not a camera. You're an artist, and everybody, you interpret things your own way. So Just have fun with it. I'm going to add that later with a smaller brush. And there's some light. This is where the light is coming from on this side. Okay. Yeah. It looks kind of funny. Okay, so here's another thing. How do I want to do this? I'm going to do it this way. I will add another layer and make that a clipping mask. And this one is going to be like the windows up here. And we're going to go back to the selection tool and just block out these shapes. And there's this door here. Ding, ding, ding. All right, and now I kept it selected, and I just scribbled in my color. There's not really any need to keep that a clipping mask. It's just there. And let me get a little closer on this one. I see there's a little tiny sliver of light. I'm gonna emphasize that a little bit. And also I see the window on the other side here. And also there's a little sliver of light over here. So we're gonna do it like that. Although the sky is coming through, so it would actually be more like this color. There, that's pretty good. And now we're gonna get really crazy. Let's select all of these and bring this back a little bit because it looks like we need some room on top. Okay, now this one is just a regular layer. We are going to add some more details. Let's just use a regular pencil here. And this looks like, where does this start? About here. And these railings are not straight. Oops, something's going on. Here we go. Not quite that crooked too, though. But we'll play up the crookedness. And then, wow, that's interesting. Here we go. It's not exactly where things are, but yeah, it's fine. It's just a drawing. And then it looks like there are these little boards that come down. I've either got too many or not quite enough, I think. Alright. We'll just straighten up the ends there. Okay. And then the top, it looks like, are those solar panels up there? That's pretty fun. I think it is. And then we can remove parts of our selection here. And then what else do we have? We've got, there's a couple of ladders here. Looks like it comes up and down. And that ladder is wild. What is happening here? And then up here, it kind of looks like I don't know what this is. Some kind of railing or antenna or something, and I think we're still gonna run out of room. So I'm just gonna shorten a lot of this. Who cares if the lines are straight? Doesn't matter. Oh, and it looks like maybe there's a little bell at the top here. Okay, I need just a little bit more room. Couldn't do it. Misjudged. That's all right. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. And then there's another ladder, it looks like, going up. And that one kind of starts. This one is a bit more straight. Where am I even drawing right now? I want to keep that on its own layer. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is add some little shadows. Oops, that one is not clicked. That's alright, it doesn't need to be. And then this ladder ladder shadow, it doesn't really look like it follows the ladder in the picture. Or that sun is just coming in at such a weird angle. I think that's what's going on. There we go. And then we'll kind of darken these areas here. That's not bad. And now I think we can also add a little bit of texture. I don't know what these little guys, there's like some little bolts or something attached to the wall, maybe where the ladder used to be. It kind of looks like maybe that's what that was. And also I want to sometimes the pressure gets weird on the iPad and it does goofy things. I want this ladder to kind of stand out a little bit more. There we go. And we'll add some more texture to these bricks here in a second. I wonder what kind of building this is. Something on the water. But it doesn't look like that's not a lighthouse. I'm just curious what kind of building this is. What purpose does it serve? All right, and then I'm going to do on this layer, there's some brick stuff. I want to get that texture. maybe some barnacles attached to it. I don't know. There we go. That's not bad for now. But anyway, that's it. That's shapes. You can use shapes to block out absolutely anything. Like, this was an easy one because it's basically a giant rectangle with some details going everywhere. But and this was just a quick. It's just a quick sketch. There's a lot left out here, but it should give you the basic idea of just block out the big shapes first, and it's easier to go back and add little details once you've got that. So now, like, I could group all of this and slap something here in the background, maybe get a big giant brush, and let's grab this one and just let's just fill that. And we've got like some mountains in the background here, right? And just making that giant shape even of the mountain in the background, it helps, like, it reads as a mountain. You see that shape, it's easy for your mind to interpret. Oh, I know what that shape is. That's a mountain. And then maybe we can just fill in a little bit of water here. There. Done. Ah. Done. There we go. That's it for today. I think this is the longest demo I've done.